Today we have Bio, one of my good brothers in my fraternity. He was one of the first people that I actually met when I first moved into Atlanta. They introduced me to a lot of the culture, but also introduced me to a lot of other good brothers, and we started from there.
So you said that Bio was the first one that you met with in Atlanta that you came back with. Were you guys in Ohio together? You were in a fraternity in Ohio, or is it you guys joined the Ohio or fraternity down here?
We both pledged at different colleges, and but when we came down here, what's really good about our fraternity is that we're able to connect with other brothers and be able to network and do business, but also support each other in our endeavors throughout our life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Okay. What are some of the qualities that you learned in your brotherhood when you were in college that still applies today? So
brotherhood, scholarship, definitely. And then also community service. Bio himself does a lot of community service, and I do as well. And we love to do that and embrace those qualities from that. I think that with being in a fraternity, you also learn time management. You learn other things that you may need to go throughout your life.
Okay, what kind of community service do you guys do?
I give back to the community as far as I have give backs and whatnot. I let Bio talk about what he does.
For me personally, I have many different things I like to give back, and I've probably been involved in community service since, like you said, since we've been inducted into fraternity. But for me, myself, I think the biggest impact I like to reach out is to the youth. Anything youth related and community service based, how we can help the people, especially in Atlanta right now. Those are probably the biggest aspects of type of community service that I deal with right now. And I feel like, to me, that speaks to more of who I am as a person and what I've been through. So I would say those are probably more basis of what I look forward to when it comes to different community service type of events. So that I will speak that for me.
And that sometimes give you like joy in your heart when you do it.
Yeah, I definitely would say that. 'Cause I think for me, the biggest thing that I always tell people is that, us growing up as African Americans, we've seen different struggles, or we've seen different types of opportunities other people kind of not taking advantage of.
Yeah.
I look at myself sometimes, even at 36, I'm like, sometimes I feel like I have survivor's remorse because I look around at different people in the community and I'm like, dang, you feel like you made it, but at the same time, you feel like you want to give back so much to lift other people up to the next level.
Yeah.
So that's the way you get joy, but it's in a weird way you feel a little kind of guilt because like you feel like you can do so much more with the opportunities that you was given.
Yeah, but you see so many individuals that don't have it, and you're like, "Hey, look, I got it, so maybe I need to give a little bit back because, at Ohio State we used to do the sleep out for the homeless, and we used to be out there, sleeping with the homeless and giving back to them, and that was something that was really like a staple of our, how every fraternity has like their events.
Yep.
And then that's what we did. So it was always like a great time to do that, because when I went home, I was able to I passed out. I was like, oh man, I did something. I did great, and I bet that's the same thing that you felt.
Can I ask him a question or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I want to make sure.
Yeah, we're just going back.
Yeah, my bad. No.
I want to answer.
Okay. No. So I guess the question I want to ask you, Pat, I guess seeing where you are now in your career, when you meet younger men who want to get into the medical field, now granted, they may not know the whole path. Like, I guess for me, the question I want to ask for you is, for younger men, regardless of race, who probably come and reach out to you, because I'm pretty sure people want to intern with you.
Of course.
They want to learn from you. I guess, what is the biggest piece of information that you want to give them based on what you've seen so far with your career?
I want to tell people that they need to have consistency and passion about what they want to do, because if they don't, then you lose your train of where you're trying to go in life. And so I would say that, to say somebody starts out with a good vision of what they want to do. They, want to, say you want to help out this person, but then you help them out halfway and then they're just still lost. And so if you don't have that, then, you really didn't, to me, I don't feel like you have helped them out, because you left them lost. What about you?
Whew, that's a deep question, man. I think for me, it's just, as most people know, I'm an aviation engineer.
Yeah.
I didn't really see myself going this career path myself. When I actually got into it, I did find a passion for it. Yeah. So I have young people who come up to me all the time who talk to me about engineering. They want to know about what you go through, what the courses you got to take, graduate. The world's a little different now. You need certifications to do certain stuff now. And at the rate technology is moving with AI,
oh yeah,
things are moving so fast. So people kind of really want to know where path I need to be on just to make sure I'm on top of different things. So the best advice I give people is understanding is you don't have to have one direction, especially when it comes to my field. Understand that getting yourself in the door and explore different opportunities.
That's the biggest thing right there.
But exploring different opportunities, see what your
and
passion.
Not be scared.
Sometimes you gotta do it scared.
Yeah, but some people are scared though.
Yeah,
some people.
I would say being scared, like you said, is true, but also being able to get past that fear also, because there's a lot of things I did scare myself. Like I went to school for network engineering. To be in aviation now, after spending almost 13 years in system and network engineering, it was a new place for me. Yeah. I did it scared, but I tell people all the time, sometimes it's not about thinking about failing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about getting the experience.
Exactly.
So like for me, that's why I asked you that question, is because most folks don't know, I met Patrick in 2012. And I remember Patrick told me exactly what he was going to do, his path and his plan. And it's crazy to me because I tell him all the time, I'm really proud of him, man. I'm really proud of this guy because
I appreciate it.
It's crazy to say 14, 13 years later, Pat is literally doing everything he said he told me 13 years ago. Hey, and it happened for you.
But that's crazy that we saying 14, 13 years ago, that we still know each other.
We was young, 20-something year olds.
We was young. You was young chickens out there, but but we also had losses too, because I had lost my mom, and then you had lost. You just recently lost your father. So that's another thing that I tell people, man. You're gonna have losses, in your life, but you can't let that deter you from what your actual mission is.
Yeah, but I think for me, the losses, I never understood till maybe I was 30 to understand that the full meaning when people talk about losses being lessons, because you can learn so much from things, people, and events in your life that you feel like wasn't the best outcome.
Now that's what I would like to tell somebody is never like it's a lesson. It's not really a loss. It just you win and you learn. As long as you use those losses or those things that happen in your life to propel you instead of down you, then you're definitely going to be in a great position.
So let me ask you this, Pat, because I know we talk every now and then. I guess the scene where you at right now, I tell you all the time I'm proud of you. But I guess what would you feel like in your path so far, I guess the last 13, 14 years we've known each other, what would you feel like, what moment in your life was probably the most difficult part of your journey?
I think the most difficult part of my journey, especially right now, is just maintaining like a business like value and trying to make sure that it's pristine as far as the product that I'm giving somebody. When I first started out, when I bought the business, that definitely was difficult. It was a lot.
Have you ever been a business owner before you did it?
No, not the correct business owner. But definitely, I think just learning the business curve was the hardest thing. Taking care of somebody, knowing how to talk, knowing my bedside manner. All that's there. But yeah, that's what I say. What about you?
I'll say probably my whole journey was the most difficult part for me, as crazy as it sounds, was probably decision making. Where I wanted to go in my career, what path I wanted to go down who I wanted to work for. You know, difference to me and you a business owner, I'm an employee.
Who I went when I first graduated, I was wondering who I was going to work for, and I found Dr. Polk, and I was going through like Indeed, I was going through all that to try to find somewhere to work, and I came all the way from Perimeter all the way down to Stockbridge every day because I found him, and I was like, wow, this is crazy.
It was crazy. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna finish my answer, but I do want to ask. I want to piggyback off that.
Yeah.
But I think for me was the decision making and making sure. I think my biggest issue was making sure I always made the right decision wherever I was going to, and I had to realize the difficult part was sometimes you're not going to make the right decision, and that's okay. I think my biggest problem is that I know I struggle with failure. You know, I think just because of my culture, I didn't grow up learning how to fail. So when you make the wrong decision and it hits you on a probably mental and emotional level, you got to know how to pivot correctly.
Exactly.
So I think that was my biggest problem, was knowing how to pivot correctly after me making a mistake and having to accept I'm not always going to make the right decision.
And that would be the second thing that I told anybody is that you got to know how to pivot. If you don't know how to pivot,
that's the hardest thing to do, man.
You're going to crash. You can crash out. And, you know, I've been through a lot of things through even my profession where you may like, you know, not have something certain that's coming through or whatever may have you, but I had to pivot to get to like the next level. And then you got to understand that when you get to that level, like there's certain things, there's more things that you have to worry about, you know, as far as like, you know, other people or the other ancillary things that are going on. But go ahead with your question.
My second one was basically learning how to pivot and kind of what we talked about earlier, but I guess the importance of mentorship, because I think when you told me how you found it, you told me 12 years ago, how you found the clinic and the way this man kind of pretty much embraced you.
Yes.
You know, and to kind of not necessarily groom, but kind of show you the ropes. Hey, this the industry you want to get into. Let me show you what it's about. And I remember this years ago, and you told me, man, listen, my dream is to own my own clinic, do my own thing. And you're like, this man really wants to show me how, and you was passionate about it.
Yeah.
So I guess I wanted to ask you and talk to you about that journey, kind of like how important was that mentorship for you to be where you at now with creating the Polk Clinic?
Hey, the mentorship was I think it was the most important thing. I think it was 100% the most important thing, because it allowed me to grow. I say.
In which ways?
Because my family was older, you know, when they adopted me, they were 45, and I was, you know, young. So my dad's 75 now, and I'm 38. So they took things from back in the day that people actually should value and keep as a staple. And then I was able to get in with Dr. Polk, and he's an older gentleman, but he mentored me still after that. And it was great. It just, I think it allows you to excel if you have somebody. And I think that's why you go into the schools and you were in there talking to the students. And I saw you on your Instagram. You were doing a great, amazing thing over there. So yeah, I think that's great. Yeah. And just tell people my question to you then would be like, tell people like, what organizations are you with?
Well, it's a long list. No, I'm just kidding. But no, as far as to me, even before I get there, I'll say that every organization I've joined has meant something to me passionately. I was never a person who wanted to join something just because it's good to be a part of it. If it doesn't speak to me, I wasn't going to be a part of it.
True.
So, you know, right now, even with Phi Beta Sigma, that was the first organization, well, second organization I joined, but that organization is something that spoke to me, the brotherhood aspect of it, what they was doing at Georgia Southern.
Brotherhood, scholarship, and service.
Exactly. So all those three pillars, when I got down there, I seen it for myself. So dealing with those brothers, it kind of helped me understand. I felt something when I was around them. I was like, feels like something I belong. And when I joined the fraternity, I saw different aspects of myself grow. I think the biggest thing I learned about joining fraternity, it taught me responsibility and it taught me manhood.
Yes.
I think the biggest things for me was that learning to have the responsibility to get things done, having to be able to plan things from start to finish, and understanding how the real life works. Because I got thrown into it. I was 19 years old when I joined, and I was a teenager still.
Yeah,
Thrown into a grown.
I think I was around that age too.
Exactly. So you thrown into a grown man organization. So it's like I learned many different things. I learned how to organize. I learned the hierarchy, the tiers of being a part of organizations and what needs to be done, dealing with different organizations, businesses, and corporations. So you get thrown into a lot of things at a young age that kind of matures you at a better level. That's why I would tell a young man, joining organizations is important to your growth as a man.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Yes,
I would say
that.
Yeah, definitely. So secondly, I would say for me now, right now I'm a current member of the Emerging 100 of Atlanta. And I would say for me, that has probably been another bigger push into manhood for me. The things that they're involved in is a higher upper echelon scale of things that we get ourselves
and
involved
they're really good.
So we support the whole city. So when I joined the Emerging 100, everybody told me, older members, like, hey, listen, man, it's going to be a lot your first year. Try not to let it overwhelm you. And I didn't understand it. I was probably 2-3 weeks in, but as the year went on, I realized these boys do a lot and they put their heart into it. Like from start to finish, they put their heart into it.
And to tell you the truth, I always thought about joining another organization. I even thought about Emerging 100, also Masons, but
I am Mason also, Prince Hall Mason.
Yes. I think that I commend you for that because that took a lot to even be inducted into that, or them to invite you in that. That means that you've been doing great in the community and things of that nature.
Yeah. And the thing I love about the organization is they told us already from we first came, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest parts for me I had to understand and get a hold of, was like, I realized you can create one of the biggest projects with these brothers and they're going to support you 100%. Mm-hmm. You can have some of the wildest ideas, greatest ideas, anything that was beneficial to moving the city of what we stand for forward, they will support you.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, I've never been a part of an organization that came with a group of brothers who wanted to help and uplift each other and also serve the community the right way. Because I feel like that's why we joined these organizations.
Yes.
We wanted to be around like-minded individuals who want to do great things, who want to do good things, who want to push people forward. And for us to be a part of it and to be surrounded by people like that, I think it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Me and you see each other every now and then, even at events. Even
we was just strolling at the event the other day.
Exactly. So, but even looking at, we went to a law firm party. Even those organizations, you looking at Rome, everybody there is giving back to the community in some kind of way. Yeah. Even what you do, there are people who probably come to you with so many issues. And I feel like with you, your job, to me, what I like about what you do is that you are taking people in one state and putting them into another.
Yeah.
When people come to you, whether it's a car accident, whether it's they're feeling sore or they have aches they don't know nothing about, you able to educate them and put them in a situation where they can actually live a lot more better and prosper,
like a
and healthier.
better quality of life.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's people who came to you, got cracked a little bit with the chiropractor and probably wanted to be a healthier, change their diet.
Yes.
With blood pressure. All this. So it's like you get a chance to help people shift their lifestyle.
And that's crazy that you said blood pressure, because I have like pre-hypertensive, so it's crazy. But we also started IB hydration over at the office, and it's been great too.
I always want to know about it. You got to tell me about that. What is I feel like I'm interviewing right now.
No,
but I've seen it so many times. I don't know much about it, but you got to what is IV hydration? How does that actually even work?
Okay, so it's pumping all the nutrients that maybe your body has been depleted from. And so it's pumping straight into your bloodstream, passing your gut. Because what happens, like we want to drink all the water, we want to drink all the Gatorade, things of this nature. But sometimes when it goes through your gut, it just passes through. And you're not able, your body doesn't take it in. So what it's doing is forcing it into that area. And so you're actually feeling it like head on, like, I don't mean to say it like this, but like people that are users, they putting it straight into their bloodstream, you know. So it's just bypassing.
It's like immediate effects.
Yes,
of it.
yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So
and it's actually great too. Like because we all, even throughout your, say you go work out. Say you are working hard at your job, say you just haven't been able to eat, like that, it really helps you out with getting back those nutrients back into that body. Okay. It's I mean, you should really try it. It feels great.
I've never tried it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared of needles, but I'll definitely try it. So I guess for me, the reason why I asked is because
my nurse practitioner, Ash, she's amazing. So you won't even feel it. It just goes.
That's what I need to hear. I don't even. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. As big as I am, as y'all see, man, I'm scared of needles, man.
Hey, you're not the only person, because even when people have like MRIs and they have disc herniations, they come in and I'm not doing an injection. I'm like, well, hey, look, there's a time and a place for it. Let's do it. You know, like if you have a disc herniation, you definitely need to get the inflammation out of your body. But that's another thing. It helps out with a lot of that stuff. So, I mean, as we move through our day, there's going to be inflammation within the body, and you need to get rid of it somehow. And the fastest way I've seen is IV hydration, and it's been great. And I just want to put a whole wellness package together for people.
Yep. So I guess for me is that, because you see, I work out a lot, man, and I take a lot of multivitamins and different things like that, like vitamin D. So I guess
that's good, but most people don't.
Okay, so I guess the question for me, I know I'm going medical now, because I just need to know for myself.
You're good.
I guess for me is that because I take like vitamin D, zinc, magnesium.
You're doing L-carnitine. You're doing your thiamine.
I don't even know what that is, man. So that's the thing about it is, like, I guess for me is that,
well, men's multivitamin.
Yeah. So I take individuals. I don't like the multivitamin. I like to take them individual. Okay. Like, I guess I feel like, I don't know, our doctor told me that's better to do it that way. But I guess for me is that, do you feel like that's more beneficial to do IV, or do you feel like when you take the pills, not pills, or whatever, the capsules or whatever you take from the store, do you feel like that is not as effective as?
I think that what you're doing, many people do not do. Okay. So that's when you need the IV hydration. Okay. But if you weren't, then I say get the IV hydration. But if you're already, it sounds like you already know the supplements and things of that nature. That's really good. But if not, then definitely, go with it. Say you missed a week or two, and I mean, we all get busy at work.
Yeah, of course, with work, everything else like that. Yep.
Yeah, I might go hit the because we both know how to use the supplements and things. My undergrad was human nutrition, but if we miss that 2 weeks, we might be feeling drained. So it gives you instant.
Yeah, but how long does that last though? Like the IV hydration, if you get it done, are you good for like a week?
You only need to do it about once or twice a month.
So that ain't bad at all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know. I was thinking like every 4 days you gotta get.
No. Not at all. Okay. I get my next one will be here soon. I was supposed to get it last night, but our schedules didn't work out. But once or twice a month, that's all you need. That's humanly nutrition.
I gotta come to the Polk Clinic now, man. I gotta come check this out.
Come on with it.
No, I'm definitely big on health. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
This is what I'm here for. Yes, this is perfect. Yeah, no, you guys are free to keep going if you want me to keep.
All right, give us another question. Let's give us another question.
I do really want to talk about your guys' mentor, like being a mentor and then also being a mentee back in the day, and how that's giving back. Because you guys talked about that a little bit, but I don't like what does it mean to you to be able to be that mentor to somebody? Like, or even, have you heard the idea, it's the concept that today, the person that you grow up to be is the person that you needed when you were younger.
So let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this question. When you, my biggest mentee, I should say it like this, so don't worry. You mess up sometimes.
Okay.
My one of my big mentors when I was growing up was Brother Womack.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the big brothers in our fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
He always, instructed us in a certain way because I was in the Sigma Beta program.
Okay.
What about you?
What was the question?
As far as your mentor?
Ooh, man, I think for me, a lot of my mentors in my life were, to be honest, which is probably different in different phases of what I needed. Mm-hmm. I think for me, I had two older brothers. On top of that, I had a father. I had frat brothers. I had organizational people. So when it came to being a mentee, I think the biggest thing for me, my instincts naturally was to listen. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing I always try to look at was when they talked to me, the biggest thing I liked about a lot of my mentors, outside, even my brothers and everybody else, was that they told me their mistakes.
See, I like that.
Yeah,
because
they told me their mistakes.
Basically, in so many words, you just said that life mentored you
Mm-hmm.
and got you where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in that too as well, because I take little pieces from here,
exactly.
and here.
That's exactly what I do.
And then I put it together.
So it's like for me, my brothers would tell me, or my frat brothers, or people in the organizations would tell me, "Hey, listen." I ask them certain questions, and I feel like the biggest thing I got from having a mentor, I think the biggest thing a mentor could do for a mentee is to keep it real with them.
Yeah,
keep it 100 with them, because I think a lot of times when it comes to having a mentee, we kind of want to show them the light, show them what's good, show them what they need to do. But life don't work like that way.
No,
you still got to make your own decisions.
Everybody's the same.
Exactly, and your path might be a lot different than mine. Information I give you to go in a certain way, that opportunity may not even be available for you no more when the time comes. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, for me, I think the biggest thing, the people who were mentors to me in my life always they gave me the positive, they gave me the good and the bad. Some people say play devil's advocate, but at the same time, that was important because I feel like that's what made me more well-rounded, to knowing, hey, if this situation happened, the word we said before, how do you pivot? Or what are our opportunities? So I think the biggest thing when it comes to mentors or being somebody having a mentor is understanding, is this person being honest and transparent with you about where you're trying to go?
Now I see that you a mentor in the community in a different aspect as I am, where I'm being a mentor in my practice. So even if I might see kids, I might see adults, I might see, whatever may have you, and you're targeting as I see on your Instagram, and as I know as you as a brother, school kids, like you're in the actual classroom talking to kids, and then you're also on a grand level being a representative of something that's great. Where do you feel like your niche is?
My niche, I think my niche, honestly, when it comes to mentoring, is kind of what I said earlier. This younger generation of youth, I realized they grow up in a really different reality than we did.
Man,
I believe that. Listen, the things they deal with.
They on the phone all day.
Nah, but it's not even just the phone. It's to me personally, I think the hardest part being a mentor right now that was different. When we was mentees, the world was kind of one way. Yeah. Even for the last few generations, with them, this is a whole new world. Yeah. So I think the hardest part for me is adjusting to what they actually need and what they're dealing with.
Yeah,
I feel like the biggest issue right now is the overexposure they have to deal with. They are exposed to stuff way more than we ever have. So I think the biggest thing I like when it comes to these mentees the most is trying to fix their self-esteem.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, and I know we probably going to look off script, the biggest thing these youth deal with today is the fault of comparison. They compare themselves so much to things they see online, the things they read, things they exposed to the point that it's so hard to bring them back to reality sometimes.
That's you're deep.
But
just deep as me is thinking.
But it's real, because you got young men who are 18 years old thinking they need to make six figures. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, that's unrealistic. When we was 18 or 22, when we graduated from college, we wanted to make $45,000.
Yeah, seriously.
We was like, yo, if I can make 45, I can go to the club. I can be fresh. I'm good. I give me an apartment. But now the things that they're exposed to is like they want so much at so young because the world is pushing stuff on them that you got to have this now. You got
songs. You got everything.
But the biggest problem I'm gonna tell you right now is that they think their value as a man is based in what they can consume or materialistic things that they can accomplish.
Men or women.
And,
I said men or women.
But yeah, that just the whole generation.
Yeah.
And so when you talk to them, it's so hard because you trying to shake programming out of them that they grew up in a world where technology was already there. Remember, we grew up, we had different things. We got Sega, we got Dream. So like a lot of technology, we saw how it grew up. For them, it was already just made. Yep. So the biggest thing I deal with right now is them feeling like they had to rush their life. These boys at 22, 23, 24 trying to get to, and I get it, the financial crisis was going on in America right now. I know things are more expensive, but they are not they're not even be able to enjoy their youth. Yeah, you know, so it's like when you see 20-year-old kids wanting to buy Gucci, Louis Vuitton, bro, in our days, you had money if you had Jordans.
Yes.
That was it. You know somebody had money if he had a pair of Jordans. If he had some Jordans, because we had Air Force Ones. Yes, so you had Air Force Ones and Adidas and Ready. You was doing all right. If somebody had the Jordans, he got a little money. Yeah. You know, so, but the thing is, but the world is teaching them so much right now that they need to have everything now. You know, to become a chiropractor. How many years of school you got to do for that?
I spent 5 years in school in undergrad, and I got 2 degrees there, and then 3.5 years in graduate for chiropractic, so 8.5. And
then after that, what do you have to do?
Oh man, you just gotta grow. I mean, you gotta grow and glow because you gotta learn the business. You gotta learn how to do. So you always learning. That's why they call it practice.
Exactly. So that's the thing about it. What you just described right now was 10 years.
Yes.
At minimum.
Yes, for sure.
10 years of continuous education, experience, trial and error, just to get to a place where you're starting your career.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
How long did it take?
For me personally, I'll be honest, engineering, they told us as soon as we came to school, you're not graduating in 4 years. Yeah. They told us already as soon as we started, you're not graduating in 4 years because the program is just that strenuous. So it took me.
Because I always wondered because my dad was an engineer, so I just wanted to hear this.
So mine was I did 4.5 years. Yeah. It took me 4.5 years to graduate. But on top of that, when I first started, I was 22 years old. Yeah. So I was 22 years old. My first job, I worked in the call center.
Yeah, my first job was Wendy's.
See, exactly. Well, this after college, so like I'm making $18, $19 an hour, but I was able to get apartment and stuff like that. But at the same time, I wasn't even thinking. I thought 6 figures was just a dream. I was so far away. But at the same time, I knew what I had to do. In my path, I could either go to grad school or I get certifications. But what I did, I kind of worked for different different corporations. Yeah, and then learned about the importance. My older brother actually put me on certifications. He's the one who told me, hey, listen, you're going to be an IT engineer. You got to get certified in certain ways. Yeah. You got to study for these tests. You got to pay for them. You got to pass them. And as you grow in your career, them certifications kind of give you a quick ticket to get an interview. Yeah. That's one thing I learned real fast. When you certified, it helps you go past certain steps and skip certain things.
So then I guess what we would say to the young kids is that, hey, there's always going to be another step that you got to take. It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop.
Life is continuous education.
Yeah, unless you want to stand still.
That's true.
And then that's where you're at.
So, but I think for them, they struggle the most with, I'm gonna be honest with you, unrealistic expectations. When you talk to them, I know we talked about them wanting things now, but I think the biggest advice I can give to is learn. There's so much value in slowing down. Sometimes slowing down can teach you so much more. You can experience much more. You can enjoy things more. Because I think with them, everything's so fast paced. When you look at social media, everything is 2-3 seconds and you swiping next to the rest. So their mindset, a lot of things, life is not a long-term, stagnant understanding of things. Yeah. Stop trying to move so quickly. You're young. Yes. Like even with us at 36, 38, I still feel young. I feel like, hey, listen, I've accomplished a lot of things, but at the same time, I'm still enjoying life. I'm still learning from it. Yeah. We got to make more important decisions now at 30-something years old.
Yeah. You know how it goes.
But at the same time, at 20, when I talk to these 22, 23, 24-year-olds, I was not thinking about stuff like that. I wasn't thinking about, oh, I need to travel here. I need to go buy a house. I need to go do different. I like, man, I just want to have a little money and enjoy life. And I wish they knew how to get back to that, because you learn so much going through that process of messing up, making a little money, trying to
get too much money, and then they just mess up.
Yeah. So, learn the corporate game. Understand, hey, life comes with time, man. Experience will teach you more than most anything in this world, man.
That's true. That is very, very, very true.
Yeah. Sorry.
Would you say, okay, for the current young men of today, this generation?
Yep.
Do they have the same mentality that you guys had and was wanting to get involved in something bigger than themselves? Is that there, or is it because they want everything now? Do you see that same quality in there?
I would say, yeah, but in a different kind of way. The reason why I was saying a different kind of way, Pat, is because I think these young men, they like organizational things. They like group things. That's why they like streaming. They like these games online. They like all these different things. So they like.
And I think they do like. They do like that. But I think they're attached to a like you said, a thought process of that. If I'm here, if I attain this, I'm going to excel here. But they don't put in the work behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. The shortcut.
Yeah.
But thing is also is that one thing I learned is that I can't blame them, because what the world taught them at a young age is that to have a short attention span, and I think for me, it's like with the phone technology, everything is quick. Everything in their generation is instant.
I think I think AI is messing up everything.
I mean, even with that, because it takes away the aspect to learn or make mistakes. If I'm writing an email to somebody, I'm not gonna lie, I use it sometimes too. If my email, I feel like it don't sound too good, I throw that thing into the AI and make it sound a lot more professional and send it out. So those type of things. But for me, it's the person of actually trying it first.
Yes.
I think for them, the biggest thing I would say, just going back to the question about organizations, they like the involvement, but I think for them, it's more of, like you said, how fast can I attain what I want?
Right.
So will I join certain things, or will I attach myself to certain things that will quicker get me there, rather than how can I learn where I'm going? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I can join these things, I can join these groups, but the mindset should be, what can I learn from this experience? What can I enjoy about experience, and what can I take away from it? That's
it right there.
Yeah.
Going off of that, how do you meet with, someone, say for instance, very confused in their life, young man, needs to make a pivot, he's hit a hard wall, he's down on his luck. What is your advice to him? For how do you pivot? How do you, because you guys both, I appreciate so much, you guys are just discipline. That's how you've gotten here today. Mm-hmm. And with the current generation, I feel like the discipline isn't there because it is instantaneous. They're used to getting everything now. How do you go about teaching discipline?
That's a good question. How do you teach somebody about discipline? Bio, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Okay. All right. So for me, I'm gonna speak to a younger generation to teach them about discipline. Now I'm gonna pivot over to the mental health aspect. I think the biggest thing I have other people do at times is to look inside themselves.
There you go.
And I think, I'm be honest with you, I feel like people don't realize that's one of the hardest things to do. Mm-hmm. When you have to look at yourself, look at your decisions, look at who you are as a person, look at the decisions you've made and how you got to where you're at. For example, she said he hit a wall and everything else. The first thing I'm gonna ask that young man is, what are the decisions you made in life and how you got here? Yeah. So I feel like the biggest thing, once you understand how you got somewhere, you can understand where you need to go. Because sometimes we look at a situation and we're like, dang, I'm down on my luck. All this is messed up. Because the discipline sometimes comes to checking yourself, kind of getting real with yourself and kind of accepting who you are as a person can actually help you with your discipline. If you understand, hey, these are my limitations. This is what I have. This is where I want to go. And how do I get there?
That's very true.
Yeah. And then understand I got to this position right now because I did what? So so sometimes you got to go backwards in order to go forward.
Man, you answered that question so well, and I'm a piggyback on that. How do you teach somebody how to be disciplined? Is in some way life is going to discipline you. to get you back to where you need to be. And if you ain't listening, it's just gonna keep on disciplining you. You know, so I definitely resonate with that.
Yeah. And just, I mean, to give more on that answer is, you know, for me personally, it's like, I feel like with every young man, even young women, I feel like once you see yourself and you accept yourself, you're going to know what direction to go.
Exactly.
Because something's going to speak to you internally about what you need to do to get where you need to be. And it don't matter what it is. I promise you, it don't matter what career move, what life move, what family move, what relational move, especially with the dating culture right now. A lot of people knew what they needed to do in those situations. They felt it internally before it even happened.
I mean, you can always be ignorant to the fact, but at the end, nobody wants to lose. So you're gonna have to, you know, learn and wake up at one point in time in your life and say, look, all right, we gotta move on from this stage in my life, you know, because you know we all had those stages in our life. We went from, you know, high school to college to professionals. We had to move through certain degrees in our life, certain things that we, you know, used to do to now to be to where we're at. You know, Bio, I know you were like me when we first got in fraternity. We're probably out there, you know, strolling and doing all that and enjoying the parties.
Yeah, enjoy the life.
Yeah, and now we're like, okay, we have to be, businessmen, like sit there, you know, and do our professional life, but be professional about it. And then also, we grew up and started thinking about other people and saying, hey, look, let me try to tell somebody else how to do this because we came from a long way. And, you know, that's it.
But I think for me to piggyback off that again, you know, we talk about discipline and patience. I want to speak about you. You know, even with where we at now, we're both homeowners.
Yes.
But for me, I bought my house already built neighborhood. You bought your house and had to build it from the ground up.
Yes, sir.
I guess going through that process, because I remember you and the realtor, the developer, I knew him also. Y'all built that house. And I know it took a long time. And I remember even through there were certain setbacks you told me about. And I guess going through all that, what did that teach you about life, especially as a man, having to like building a house that's for you, the house the way you want it, your specifications, your information. What did that teach you about life, building a house from the ground up?
I would say that taught me business. Because it took longer than expected as far as it was supposed to be a year and eight months, but and it took 3 years. So it taught me about business and how to make sure that my business runs well. Because when I see a patient come in, I want to make sure that their care is on the road and they get taken care of right away. But, you know, everything is documented correctly. Everything is, you know, sent over to attorney. There's no lag in their, process. Because that, you know, building that house cost me a lot of money. So that's the biggest thing.
Would you discourage it any time you was discouraged during the process or?
I wouldn't discourage it. I would just say.
So were you discouraged, like during?
What was I discouraged? Oh, yeah, man, I was discouraged. Heck yeah! Like, shoot, I just had a contractor come over last night that you know to fix things that were not done correctly and get it together. But one thing I say about home ownership. Man, that's it's crazy. It's you got to keep up on everything. And I'm pretty sure you know that too.
Listen,
It's a whole job. I don't even want to go outside.
Exactly. But the beautiful thing about it is
I don't go to no clubs no more.
But the thing is, that's one of the aspects of manhood I tell people about is that I think it's so important to have a place where you can call your own space.
Yes.
You know,
that is what I love about the house is that is my space. So when, I go home, I can just relax, reset and get back to where I need to be.
Exactly. Because I think me buying a home really helped with my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, having something that belongs to me, but at the same time I can design it and put things in a way that helps me think. You know, I think the biggest thing, and I tell every man, you know, have a space that's yours. Whether you're married or not, you always got to have a space that's yours just for your own sanity. You know, as I got older as a man, I never understood when men would tell me about, I'm getting older, all I want is peace. I just want a peace of mind.
And that's the same thing about your health.
Mm-hmm.
That's a peace of mind too.
Definitely.
we both, you know, you were talking about mental health and we were talking about, you know, mentorship. Mm-hmm. I'm, you know, in that too with you, but yeah, that's the same thing. Like that's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. So, and I think now you know, I'm 36, you know, you're older than me, mm-hmm. but at the same time is that I see now why that's so important. I realize having a peace of mind can help you live longer.
Yes.
You know, I'm seeing how stress can weigh on the body. Even with chiropractic, stress releases certain hormones that can disfigure you, that can make you sick, that can mess you up in so many different ways.
Even in the bodybuilding, stress like stops you from even gaining.
See? So it's just like understanding being in this place, in a state that you can actually be able to relax, can help you think better, live longer, make better decisions. Yeah. I realize, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't make the best decisions when I'm stressed out. I can honestly admit to that. And sometimes what
would you tell a young guy
who's stressed out?
Yeah.
Decision making?
Mm-hmm. What's the best way to get back?
Man, that's tough, man. Because I feel like the world we live in is just a perpetual circle of stress that everybody's dealing with right now. But I think it's like having healthy outlets, man.
Yeah.
Having friends you can talk to, because sometimes you be stressed out, call one of your boys or somebody like that. And I'm gonna tell men like this, man, it's okay to vent to somebody. Yeah. I don't care what nobody say. Like, as a man, keeping all this stuff inside is going to kill you.
Yeah.
If you got a best friend, a brother, or somebody you can talk to somebody. Yeah. Because what we deal with as men, people don't understand, it's so much, and we keep it all inside because we were born and bred to just deal with everything. Yeah. And I tell people, as a man, that's what they tell us. As a man, you need to learn how to suffer. Mm-hmm. But then you get through life and realize, if I don't have the right outlets, I don't have the right people around me, this suffering can take over my life. Yeah. You know, and so when we talk about, you know, going to mental aspect, the suicide rates of young men, the health disparity of some men. That's
a lot right there.
But some of these men, you know, they didn't have nobody to talk to. They had nobody to help. Like you said, mentor. They had no mentor.
I've been seeing more suicides in the past couple of years than anything. But maybe it's more publicized. But you know, it's crazy to see that people taking their own life, or they're going out and killing a lot of people. You know, like maybe it's more publicized that there's mass, you know, shootings or whatnot. Because I think back when we was growing up, we only had Columbine.
Yeah, and that's all we knew about, you know. And so it's like, for us, I think for me is that what I think is so great about our generation now, that there is a more focus on men's mental health now. Mm-hmm. And I think that was needed probably 50 years ago, you know, even from the aspects, even my own father's generation. I think a lot of things they endured, we don't have to in our generation, but we see the effects of what it did to them. You know, I think the biggest thing now, when I look at older men, I talk to them a lot more. When I hear them, when I talk to them, you can realize that inside of them, when you have certain conversations with older men, 67 years old, you can hear the young boy inside of them.
So I see you use the word generational a lot. So what got you into that, like looking at a full scale era of people? Like, you know, like, because it sounds like you already know about, you know, all eras and whatnot.
I think for me, man, people don't really look at me they got to realize I'm actually a nerd, man. That's what it is. I like learning. Like, for me, I have a habit of, I mean, to be an engineer, you got to be a nerd. But at the same time, dad. Yeah, so it's like, for me, I've never gotten to a point in my life that I wanted to ever stop learning. And I tell people all the time, I don't have a fixed mindset. Yeah. If you come to me with information that is better than what I already know, I'm gonna listen to you. Yeah. So it's like, for me, when I've been around so many different people, I like to learn from people I'm around, and I take the time to listen, because for me personally, information is everything. Especially the world we live in now, information is more powerful than currency
Yes.
at this point. What you know,
For sure.
who you know, the information that you can consume and operate in a certain way will help you more than money would ever will.
Yeah.
Kind of like we said about
For
the
sure.
house.
Yeah.
If you buy a second house now, you know exactly what to look for now.
Oh, yes.
You see how that works?
Yes.
So that's different than somebody who had money. So it's like your mindset now is that now after what happened to my first house, my next house,
I
the
already
information
know
I
what
got,
to do. Yeah.
you learn from the first time.
Yeah. And
So-
it's a constant learning curve.
Exactly.
you know?
Even with every patient you get,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've had patients who had similar irregularities.
Yeah.
The first one was probably a lot more nervous, or you trying to figure out than the 10th one.
Yeah.
So by the time you got the 10th person, you look at their spine, you look at their X-ray, you're like, I already know what to look at. I know what to do for this person.
And I think that what gives me personally that thought process like that is not just only my family, but our fraternity, and the brothers that were in that were my pro-fights. They instilled that type of knowledge, and also made sure. You're going through school. You're going to go to class, but you're going to be doing the work too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that gave me my propel through life.
Yeah, and I think for me it's also being around people like what you just said right now, kind of forcing you to do the things you don't want to do.
Yeah,
and I think also that's one of the things that I think with the younger generation that kind of the split or maybe the divide is that they don't really understand the aspect of doing the things you don't want to do that will bring you to a better future. Yeah. I think for us, it was instilled in us so much, even how much uncomfortable we had to do those things. But I think now with the ability of choices they have, that's why I tell these young boys and mentors, sometimes doing the things you don't want to do is going to be the best thing you could do for yourself.
It's true.
Very true. And because life ain't always about fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's all about getting through the grind, getting through the hard parts to have an easier future. You're 38.
Yeah.
You're a chiropractor. You got the house. You got different things going on. You had to do a lot of things you probably didn't want to do. Some nights you didn't want to stay up.
Nights, you already know those nights.
Yeah, exactly. So even
gotta put in.
Bro, but even think of just having to practice right now. Think of how scary that is, man.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you feel like everything's on me. If something goes wrong, everything's on me. If somebody want to open up a class action lawsuit, it's going to be against me.
Yeah.
So those are things you had to learn and realize, okay, hey, there's certain things I probably don't want to do. I probably don't want all this responsibility, but I've earned it. Yeah. I think that's the most part of understanding what these young men understand, the importance of earning things rather than something given to you. When you earn things, you take care of it better. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could, the Polk Clinic, anybody come after it, you gonna defend it.
Yeah, of course. Because
you earned it. Just imagine if you just an employee somewhere. Something happens to the Polk Clinic, find a job.
We out.
Yeah, exactly. We out. So that's the importance of it, earning. Like I feel like the biggest thing that I teach these young men is the importance of earning things. Understanding that, we like instantaneous, because I like instantaneous things too. Nobody want to go through stress all the time.
I mean, sure. I still eat ramen noodles sometimes. I don't got no time.
Yeah, I mean, and there's pleasure, and there's positivity instantaneous, because at the end of the day, certain things are great. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. Yeah. I've probably given Uber Eats over $10,000. Yeah. When I know I can drive 10 minutes to the street and go get my food. Yeah. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm at home. I'm relaxed. I'm about to order some Chinese food. Right. Or I'm about to order this food. It's going to be here in 30 minutes. I ain't that hungry. I can wait 30 minutes. But the aspect of me getting up in my house, putting clothes on, finding my keys, putting my shoes on, getting in my car, reversing out my driveway, go all the way up there, ordering the food, waiting for the food.
Then you got to come back
home. And then I'm still going to be paused on Netflix where I was at before. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'd rather play my movie. Yeah, so I'd rather play my movie, wait for my food to come, and my food come, eat my food while I'm watching the movie. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm going to pay the extra $10.
Yeah, that's true. That's cool with me too. That's how I got to, man.
So I'm sorry, I know what I'm talking about.
I know, when I was living in a condo, I was just like that.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I know I could save $13 by doing it, but instantaneous has its perks also. So I don't want to make it seem like it's all bad. It does. But I want them to understand that you got to have balance.
Yes, balance in your life. Yep. Because you have to take the bad and the good, but you know, you gotta actually be able to balance that, but also balance like life, meaning like your health and what you need to do as a person to get through life.
I'm still learning that.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people will run themselves in the dirt, just, you know, doing what they want to do all day. But they didn't take care of their health, and then they just like, you know, they're tanked, they're down, they're either, you know, they're worrying about their health when they could do things that, you know, help them out. Same thing. I mean, with the young children that you're mentoring, you know, when I heard your speech over there, you know, you're telling them how to navigate their life, but also like profession wise, and things of this nature. Like you're helping them navigate to getting to that spot of balance.
Yes.
So, yeah. I really like that, and that's you know, that's one big reason why I called you to say, hey, Bio, come. I need to have you on here. This is gonna be my first one.
No, I appreciate it, man. But
yeah, that's definitely it.
Yeah, man.
Well, do you guys have any last thoughts? Anything you want to wrap it up with? Any shout outs?
Well, first of all, I want to say, man, I appreciate my brother Patrick for inviting me on this podcast.
I appreciate you, brother.
I feel like I needed this more than you know, man. It gave me an opportunity to talk to my brother and just, you know, express certain things. But the biggest thing I want to tell, you know, everybody, my last words is that stop thinking you got to figure all this out right now. I think that's the biggest lesson I'm learning about life right now, because when you spoke about balance, I realized life is meant to be lived, and a part of that living, like you said, is the good and bad, is that balance. Yeah. Understand the balance and understand that most things that we stress about is bigger in our minds than it is reality. You know, and I think that's something I'm learning now, is that enjoy the journey, have goals, enjoy the journey, but also realize that, take a step back, you're still human.
Yeah, I like that message. And I will say my last, you know, what I would say is I appreciate Bio for coming out, sharing his knowledge, but also dropping some gems and, you know, taking his time out of his day. I really do appreciate that. And also I want to say that I really commend you on your community service and brotherhood.
I appreciate it, man. Definitely again, man.
All right.
I had one last thing. I'm sorry. Y'all probably cut it out. This question I had, and it's just about, we talked about finances and wealth. Okay. I guess my question for you, and it's just part of your practice, some of your wealthier clients, how is their health? Like, how does that correlate, wealth and health? So actually, there is a lot of, it's a mix. A lot of the wealthier patients may take care of their health a little bit more than the, you know, the less fortunate. Then you have people that are just outside and they just, you know they're not. Yeah. I want to base it really off of where they came from. Oh, okay. Okay.
So, you know, you might have somebody from the trenches that, you know, got money. They could probably be maybe outside, or you might have some people from the trenches that was never outside and they took it. And so you might have some people that, you know, from a wealthier place on the, you know, on the side of town, that's great. You know, I think it's their upbringing. Okay. And really, I don't think there's a correlation between wealth and health, because we see people dying every day that are very healthy. True. I mean, true. You know, what's his name? What's his name that just died? He's the Texas Ranger.
Walker, Texas Ranger?
Yes. What's his
Chuck
name?
Norris?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
Oh, Chuck Norris, yeah.
you had Chuck Norris that just died, you know, and at a young age, and you have so much money. Like, you know, Texas Ranger is syndicated. So, you know, you never know. Like, it just depends on, I don't think the correlation is between wealth and health.
It's more lifestyle, is what you're saying.
Lifestyle. I think I see a lot more people that I see outside every day. If I just go out to the restaurant and I see you, but I rarely go out to the restaurant, but I see you every time I go to the restaurant. you like, then I see like you on a RIP on, you know, IG. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, okay, it might have a correlation right there, just lifestyle.
Do you educate people on lifestyle? The class coming patients?
Education is key, especially what I'm doing. I try to tell them about nutrients, their nutrition, to exercises, to stretches. Try to do all that. And if they take that as, you know, a penny for their thoughts, then, you know, they'll be great. But some people don't, and they come back and they're saying, hey, I'm hurting again. I'm like,
and I want to push off that. I know we're probably going over time. Sorry, guys. I guess one of my last questions is, because you know, I work out. We both work out.
Yeah.
And I think you know more about the anatomy than I do. How important is stretching?
Very important, because then it's going to allow you to work out even more. Meaning, say you get down in that squat and you squat it really hard, that it like you like put on some weight, and then you get really sore. You go home, you don't do anything about it. When you go back the next time to do a leg day and you try to squat, you're not really going to get into the squat. You're going to do a half squat. So you're not really working out all of the muscles that you should be. You know how that good leg day is, and you go home and you're like, man, these look good.
Yep.
You know, like,
I know them days.
You know what I'm saying? My legs look good.
Okay, so I'm sorry. As a chiropractor, you got to be honest with me. Is squatting healthy, man? Barbell squats. When you put the squat on your neck,
Squat, yeah.
You squat.
A straight squat.
Is that actually healthy for your spine?
Yeah, it's healthy for your spine depending on what your spine looks like.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, I don't know
like
what
me,
spine looks
like you and I, we're good. But if I'm a older gentleman or somebody that has been in a car wreck, I would lay off on that squat.
Okay.
That type of squat. I would do one that's more assisted. Like, leg press, things of this nature, extension, and, flexion machines, things like that kind of help you out, that you don't have to maneuver. But I would say you're like doing this actual squat off the actual rack. I mean, it helps you out with your stability.
Okay.
It helps you out with more than just what your leg press, your everything, because you don't have to control the weight. When you're on that rack, you have to control that weight, and so you're working more core too as well with that, and then everything else comes up.
I appreciate it, man. I learned something new today.
Yes, sir.